This movie's story starts right where Avengers Infinity War ended, and if you want to understand the story of Infinity War properly, I have already made a video about it, please do watch that video. So, this movie begins and we see Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, who is an important member of the Avengers. Clint had broken a law some years ago, for which he was given house arrest and was confined to his home. That's why Hawkeye couldn't help the other heroes in Infinity War. Here, Clint was with his family, and there, the battle between Thanos and the Avengers was going on. And when Thanos used all the Infinity Stones and snapped his fingers, half the universe's population, along with Clint Barton's entire family, turned to dust. At first, Clint didn't understand where his family had disappeared, but when he found out everything, Clint became enraged and swore that he would now kill all the bad people in the world. He felt that many innocent people had disappeared for no reason, while the bad people should have died. So, Clint Barton left his Hawkeye identity and became a masked killer, a Ronin, and he started going to different countries to kill the bad people there. After this, we see a space scene. Tony Stark and Nebula, who had survived on Titan, were returning to Earth in a spaceship. The spaceship was damaged during the battle on Titan, which is why it was moving very slowly. So, Tony and Nebula had been in space for 22 days. Their food and water were finished, and the oxygen was also about to run out. Tony, having completely lost hope, fell asleep waiting for death. But after some time, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, appears in front of their spaceship. Captain Marvel is a very powerful superhero. She had left Earth in 1995 on a mission, but when everyone started disappearing in 2018, Nick Fury sent an emergency signal to Carol. That's why Carol was returning to Earth. But on the way, she saw Tony and Nebula's spaceship, so she picked it up and brought it to Earth. After arriving on Earth, Captain Marvel found out everything about Thanos. Then Carol gave the idea to all the heroes that they should collect the Infinity Stones and use them to bring back half the universe's population. And then everyone finds out that Thanos used the Infinity Stones just 2 days ago. When Thanos snapped his fingers to eliminate half the universe's population, an energy wave was released that shook the entire universe, and exactly the same kind of energy wave appeared again in space, which made the Avengers understand that Thanos had used the Infinity Stones. By tracking the location of that energy signal, all the heroes reached the planet where Thanos was present. Here, Thanos didn't have the Infinity Stones. Thanos told everyone that he used the power of the Infinity Stones to destroy the stones themselves so that no one could use them to make everything as it was before. Here, Thor, in anger, killed Thanos. Now all hope of the Avengers was lost, and everyone returned to their lives, saddened. Captain Marvel went back to space on some mission. Thor gathered his old people and established a new Asgard in Norway. Because of losing to Thanos, Thor changed a lot. He became addicted to alcohol and became very fat and weak. Bruce Banner, who used to turn green and become Hulk when angry, conducted experiments on himself for 6 months and merged Hulk's strength with his own brain, becoming Professor Hulk. Captain America started a support group where he was trying to make the surviving people of the world understand that they should move on, forgetting what had happened. Tony Stark settled down with his wife and daughter. In this way, 5 whole years passed, and then a strange incident happened in San Francisco. Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, who had gone into a dimension called the Quantum Realm 5 years ago, suddenly came out of there. The movie Ant-Man and the Wasp explains the Quantum Realm in detail. The Quantum Realm, i.e., the subatomic level, is a place where the rules are completely different from our world. Time also works completely differently there. At the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man went into the Quantum Realm for an experiment. But before he could come out, all his friends turned to dust due to Thanos' snap, and Scott was stuck inside. And now, in 2023, a rat accidentally turned on that machine, and Scott came out. After coming out, Scott found out that half the world's population had vanished. But the amazing thing was that Scott was inside the Quantum Realm for 5 years, but it felt to him like he was there for only 5 hours. Then Scott immediately went to his old friends, the Avengers, and told them what had happened to him. Scott gave Captain America the idea that if they could understand the Quantum Realm properly, they could use it as a time machine and make everything as it was before. With this idea, Captain America, Black Widow, and Ant-Man go to Tony Stark's house because only Tony could do this work. But Tony was afraid that if he tampered with time, it could erase the existence of his wife and daughter. So, Tony refused and sent them back. Therefore, the 3 of them go to Bruce Banner, aka Hulk, who has now become Professor Hulk. Bruce Banner is also quite intelligent, so he agrees to make the time machine. But his time machine doesn't work properly. On the other hand, Tony Stark changes his mind and starts working on the time machine, and he succeeds. Then Tony meets Captain America and returns his old shield, which he had taken because of their argument. Natasha finds Clint in Tokyo and brings him back after convincing him. Hulk and Rocket bring Thor back. Then the testing of the time machine begins. Here, some people think that if they go back in time and kill Thanos or stop him, everything will automatically be fixed. But Hulk explains to everyone that this is not possible because changing anything in the past doesn't affect the present or future. Rather, it creates an alternate timeline, and that timeline's reality has no connection with our reality. So, everyone decides that they will go to the past, collect all the Infinity Stones, bring them to their time, and use them. All the heroes divide into groups and set out 4 different times and different locations. Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Ant-Man go to New York in 2012, when Loki attacked Earth with the Chitauri army. At that time, 3 Infinity Stones were present in New York: the Space Stone in the Tesseract, the Mind Stone inside the Scepter, and the Time Stone in the Eye of Agamotto. Tony and Scott go to get the Tesseract, but a mishap occurs there, and Loki takes the Tesseract and escapes. On the other hand, Captain America, after facing some difficulties, acquires the Scepter, i.e., the Mind Stone. Hulk goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum to get the Time Stone, but at that time, the Time Stone wasn't with Doctor Strange, it was with his master, the Ancient One. The Ancient One explains to Hulk that if they take the Infinity Stones to the future, it will create multiple timelines, which could ruin a lot of things. But Hulk tells the Ancient One that after the work with the Infinity Stones is done, they will return them to the exact same time and place, so nothing will go wrong. Still, the Ancient One refuses to give the Time Stone. But when Hulk tells her that Doctor Strange willingly gave the Time Stone to Thanos, the Ancient One understands that this is not Doctor Strange's mistake but his master plan. So, she gives the Time Stone to Hulk. Captain America and Hulk got the Mind Stone and Time Stone, but Tony and Scott couldn't get the Space Stone. So, Iron Man and Captain America go to 1970, where Tony meets his father and acquires the Tesseract. Along with this, Captain America takes extra PYM particles from there, which are necessary for time travel, and they were short of them. Thor and Rocket go to Asgard in 2013 to get the Reality Stone. At that time, the ether, i.e., the Reality Stone, was inside Thor's girlfriend Jane's body, and Jane was in Asgard. Here, Thor meets his mother, and Rocket extracts the ether from Jane's body. Before returning from here, Thor takes his old weapon, Mjolnir, with him so that if any trouble comes, he can easily face it. Hawkeye and Black Widow go to the planet Vormir in 2014 to get the Soul Stone. To acquire the Soul Stone, a sacrifice of someone you love deeply is necessary. Clint and Natasha were very good friends. They both knew that if one of them sacrificed themselves, the other would get the Soul Stone. So, both of them were ready to give their lives. But in the end, Black Widow sacrifices herself, and Hawkeye gets the Soul Stone. Nebula and Rhodey go to the planet Morag in 2014 to get the Power Stone. Here, they knock out Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, and take the Power Stone from him before he can. Rhodey returns with the Power Stone, but when Nebula tries to return, a problem occurs. Nebula is a humanoid, her body and brain are made of machines. Therefore, the future Nebulas and the past Nebula's brains somehow connect with each other, and the 2014 Thanos scans the future Nebula's memory and learns his future. He captures Nebula and snatches her time travel device. Thanos, with the help of his ally Ebony Maw, gets that time travel device modified in such a way that Thanos' entire army can go to the future. And then the past Nebula comes to the future to open the way for Thanos' ship. Meanwhile, all the heroes fit all the Infinity Stones into a new gauntlet made by Iron Man. Hulk decides to wear the gauntlet because only Hulk could withstand its radiation, and as soon as he wears it, his condition starts deteriorating. Thanos was very powerful, which is why he could handle the power of all 6 Infinity Stones, but Hulk is not as powerful as Thanos, so he was in bad shape. Even in this condition, he snapped his fingers and brought back all the people who had turned to dust. Half the universe's population returned, and everyone's age was still the same as it was 5 years ago. Hulk was badly injured, and before he could recover, Thanos and his army had arrived there, and they immediately attacked and destroyed the Avengers headquarters. Now Thanos had become very angry, and he decided that he would use the Infinity Stones to destroy the entire universe and create a new universe where people would worship him. Then a fierce battle begins. On the other hand, the 2014 Gamma sides with the future Nebula, and the past Nebula is killed. All the heroes start weakening in front of Thanos and his army, and then the heroes who had turned to dust 5 years ago make their entry. They had been brought back to life by Hulk's snap. Doctor Strange had seen the future long ago, so he knew where the final battle was going to take place. That's why he brought the armies of Wakanda, all the sorcerers of the world, and all the heroes to that place. And then Captain Marvel also arrives there to join the fight. Here, Thanos was trying to acquire the new gauntlet, and all the heroes were busy stopping him. But then Thanos got the gauntlet anyway, and then Doctor Strange gave Iron Man a signal, which made Tony understand that this was the only chance where Thanos would lose. Then Iron Man snatched all the Infinity Stones from Thanos' gauntlet, made a new gauntlet with his armor, put all the Infinity Stones in it, and snapped his fingers. Because of this, Thanos and his army turned to dust and disappeared. But snapping the fingers badly injured Iron Man, and he died. Then Tony Stark's funeral takes place, which many people attend. After this, Thor hands over the responsibility of Asgard to Valkyrie and goes into space with the Guardians. The Avengers had decided that after the work with the Infinity Stones was done, they would return them to the exact same time and place from where they were taken. So, Captain America takes all the Infinity Stones and Thor's hammer Mjolnir and goes to the past. But he doesn't return. In the main timeline, Captain America had frozen in ice and woken up 70 years later. Captain America hadn't been able to live his life fully in his own time. So now, he decided to use the time machine and stay in the past. After placing all the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir in the right places, Captain America went to 1945, married his girlfriend Peggy Carter, and spent his entire life with her. But all this happened in a different timeline, i.e., a different universe, and it didn't affect the main universe. Then, when Captain America became old, he returned to the main timeline and gave his friend Sam Wilson a new shield so that he could become Captain America and take his place. If you liked this video, please like and share it, and to watch such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and press this bell so that you get our videos on time.